I never left it on the ground. I'm not coming down. I want to go higher, higher, higher than that.
This is Write Your Own Story, 3 Keys to Rise and Thrive in Life and Business. I'm your host, Rebecca Fleetwood-Hession. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about feedback because there is an obsession in the business world about feedback. While sometimes helpful, what we really need isn't feedback. What we really need is affirmation, because affirmation hits us in the feelings, positive feelings, that inspires us to want to do more of the things that feel good to us when we know that they're helpful for others. So what triggered this idea? And I've talked about this before, but it's been a while. We can't talk about it enough because it's going to take such huge societal changes. So yesterday, I was listening to my son's music on Spotify. He's getting ready to release a new album, and we'd been talking about it. So I went in and Spotify was playing his music. And I'm driving along, and I just started thinking about how far he's come and thinking about when he got a guitar for Christmas that first year and what it takes to put your music that you wrote out into the world. And as he's putting this new album out, he was home last weekend and we were talking about marketing ideas and how he was going to do it. And he said, "Are you sure it's good?" And my heart just melted because I know what that feels like as someone who wrote a book and put it out into the world. But also every time I hit publish on an episode of the podcast or a social media post or a TikTok or a reel, there's just this feeling of, I hope this matters. And it's not even that about being good or bad. He and I both want to put out stuff that people resonate with, like it matters to them. It's not even about us. We want you to like it and enjoy it and have it give you some kind of benefit, whether it's man, that's a great bop. I love playing it in the car. It makes me happy. Or that song really made me feel this way, or whatever it is. And my content, is it helpful for you at work? Does it make you feel better? It's always about feelings. But in the business world, we've stripped so much of the feelings out of it. We're missing the opportunity to affirm people in a positive way because we're so freaking focused on feedback. Nobody ever walked away from a feedback session inspired. God, please. Back to my story about listening to his music. So as I'm listening to his music and thinking about how far he's come, and him saying that to me about, "Are you sure it's good?" And how much we need that kind of affirmation throughout the process, not just when it's time to hit publish on something that we've done, and how much that applies to all areas of our life, not just artists and writers, and it's our business projects. It's how we show up in our work. If we had more people saying to us in affirming ways that they valued our contributions, whether it's a song or a book, or our energy, our skills, how we show up to a meeting, if we were more in tune to how powerful affirmations are and how necessary they are to our brains and the way we feel about our lives, we'd want to just start throwing them around like confetti. So here's what it sounds like. Hey, I just wanted to let you know that I so appreciate how you show up to meetings every time. You come in here and you have such good energy and you ask good questions, and it just sets a great tone for the rest of the team. And that's really important to the organization right now while everybody's got so much going on. So that's where we tell them why it's relevant. So we're going to affirm them on who they are, their value. You know where I'm going with this, right? VRI, value, relevance, and impact. That's so important right now, relevance, because everyone's been really overwhelmed with this project. So when you come in and bring that energy, it helps everyone. And I've noticed when you're in the meetings, we get more done and everybody leaves feeling better about it. Impact. It's just a few sentences. But when we use that framework and we look for what people are doing well and right, not their achievements, not the tasks that they've checked off the list, but who they are, how they show up. Here's another one. Hey, I wanted to let you know the way that you are bringing that data to the meetings, the way you're sorting that out so we can see the customers and the breakdown has been so helpful. And I know that was your idea. And I know that's the way you think about things. You're always bringing that extra idea that none of us have thought about. And my gosh, that is so important right now. We're all so busy and we're all just trying to get it all done, relevance. And because you take the time to give us a fresh way to look at it, we've made so much progress and the decisions we're making are better for our customers. Thank you for being you. It's not hard, but we have to be tuned in to do it. So with Cameron and his music, oftentimes he would come to me with a new artist that he had discovered on Instagram or wherever. And he would say, man, I love his or her music. It's so good. And I quickly would say, did you tell him? And he was like, what do you mean? Well, did you message them? Did you put a comment? Did you DM them? Oh, I don't want to do that. They'll think I'm weird. Listen, nobody thinks you're weird if you authentically compliment people. I'm not saying slide into their DMs and say, hey, baby, that's weird. But if you send a message to somebody that put out music that you love that said, hey, I just wanted you to know, I found your music today and I love it. And here's what I love about it. Or the way that you are marketing your music is really speaking to me. I'm getting ready to put on an album and it's really been helpful to watch how you're doing it. Whatever it is that they're doing, them as a human, their value, you're going to tell them why that's relevant and I'm having an impact on you. And if we could make this the way we move through the world, can you imagine the confidence that this would build in people wanting to be more of their authentic selves? Oh my gosh. I desperately want part of my legacy to be that we shifted from everything being about achievement to being more about influence and impact and VRI, so that people would stand taller in their story and feel more confident in who they are. Because when we are more confident in who we are, because we get that comment from someone, we do more of that. Not because someone told us to, but because we want to. We are excited that somebody noticed who we are. And when someone notices who you are, you want to be more of who you are. But we're so freaking focused on pointing out the problems and things that need to be fixed because we have this industrial age model of work and school and parenting that is dragging us down. It's why we have more burnout. Nobody wants another feedback session. Think about the way that you're parenting. When you see your child do something that is just who they are, say something. Hey, I noticed that you have just been so loving and kind with your friends lately, and I love that about you. And I know that makes them feel good about themselves. And I just wanted you to know that. It's going to have far more powerful impact on that child than, can we see your grades? Grades have zero correlation between a person's success and their life satisfaction. Zero. But how they feel about themselves, Lord have mercy. The impact on that, I am so passionate about this. Maybe it just needs to be a monthly episode until it becomes a societal phenomenon. Will you do me a favor? Will you start looking for opportunities to do this and know that it's not weird? It's beautiful. Stop somebody in Target and say, hey, I really like your outfit today. It's so cool. Because if they put on a cool outfit, then cool outfits are something that they value. And if you affirm them in that, they are going to stand taller and they're going to just feel better about themselves. And so that means they're going to be a better person for the people that they show up for that day. We could be kinder, gentler, nicer humans just by going around looking for ways to affirm who people are and the way they show up in the world. Doesn't matter their title, doesn't matter your title, doesn't matter where you live, if you live in the best neighborhood or the not so great neighborhood. None of that achievement stuff is helping us all that much. But affirmation, oh man, that's the good stuff, y'all. That's the good stuff. So do me a favor, go around today, just start today and look for ways that you can affirm people. Now, I've given you the little formula, VRI, value, relevance, impact. I hope that's helpful, but you can't mess this up. Whatever you say that's affirming is a nice thing. So just throw it around like confetti, okay? Don't worry about getting it right. Just do it. Look for people that you can affirm who they are, not just what they've accomplished, who they are in authentic, beautiful ways. Just use your everyday language, just a conversation. You don't even have to prepare for it. Like you do the feedback sessions. To prepare for the feedback sessions because they suck so much that everybody knows they're going to suck. And if you don't prepare for them, I'm not saying there's not a place for feedback. You know there is. Don't get it twisted. But I'm asking you today to walk around your house, your business, Target, wherever you are, and look for people and ways that you can affirm them. Send a text right now. Well, not if you're driving. Send a text to someone and say, I was just thinking about you today. And here's something that I really value about you and why I think it's important and the impact that it's had on me or the impact that it's having on others. It will take you all of about 2 minutes and you could change the course of someone's day with 2 minutes and a text. Maybe that's how we'll brand it. Maybe that's how we'll get it to be viral. 2 minutes and a text. And we will just start affirming people over text like it's our job. Because if we're really talking about humanity, it is our job. There's so much about self-care. Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm doing keynotes all the time about it. But man, if we start affirming one another, that's a whole different level. That's 2.0 stuff there. And if we're really going to usher in the age of humanity, if we're really going to shift from the industrial age model of work, school, and parenting, we're really going to ditch that. Please, for the love, let's ditch it before I die. Then we have to start paying attention to what's great about one another in a way that we can have conversations, not just look at it, scroll past it, and not share it. So if it's not 2 minutes in a text, or maybe in addition to 2 minutes in a text, sending affirmation, as you're scrolling today, because I know you're going to be scrolling sometime today, as you're scrolling today, if you see someone that is doing something that you appreciate authentically, tell them. It's kind of like that message that used to be at the airport all the time. If you see something, say something, which is, of course, all around terrorist activity, because everything in our society is fear-based crap. I get on a rant sometimes. You know, it's true. Instead of that, you're going to say, man, I really love the work that you're doing. Keep it up. Here's what I love about it. That's another key. Tell them what you love about it. Don't just say, I love it, because then they can second guess it. Because things that are really innate to us, our gifts and talents, things we're good at, we second guess them because they are so innate to us. We don't always take them as seriously as we need to. And so when you tell someone what you value about them and you're really specific about what it is that you appreciate, it really helps them know how important it is. All right, I could talk about this for days, months. I think we need to talk about it more often, don't you? So go out, look, affirm, tell me how it makes you feel by affirming someone else. Because that's the other benefit. It's not just them that gets to feel better. It feels good when they look at you and they give that smile and they're like, oh, thank you. And you can tell that you've just absolutely blown them away. Oh, you're going to walk away with so much mojo. Everybody wins. The feedback session, I don't know if anybody's winning after those, but affirmation in the moment, authentically, everybody wins all the time. Okay, that's it. Because I'm just saying the same thing over and over again, but that's also how we build patterns. So try it. Tell me how it goes. Message me on Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever we're hanging out together. Send me an email, Rebecca@wethrive.live. Just let me know how it's going. Oh, yeah. And by the way, your 2024 conference planning, I want to be your keynote speaker. Call me maybe. Okay, love you, mean it. Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode. I would love it if you would go to Apple Podcasts and leave a rating and a review. And then you can go to RebeccaFleetwoodHessian.com And join the Badass Women's Council. And if you really want to take a deeper dive, join the movement of 1,000 Thriving Women. There's amazing Thrive tools there for you today. Love you, mean it.
And I'm not coming down.
Hey y'all, fun fact, if you like the music for the podcast, that is actually my son, Cameron Hession. And I would love it if you would go to Spotify and iTunes and follow him and download some of his other music. My personal favorite is TV Land.